How's everybody?
Good.
Well, I have to say I'm awful proud of the way our team competed in this game. We knew it was going to be a tough game. I think their perseverance, you can talk about winning ugly, and maybe it wasn't always pretty because we certainly didn't execute and do things the way we'd like, but you got to give LSU a lot of credit. Their defense played really, really well. Their team is playing really well right now. It was a tough atmosphere for us out there, but our defense was, outstanding. And there was several situations in the game where we turned it over. They got great field position, and we went in and stopped them. And I can't say enough about how many critical stops that we got in. We had in this game that really had a huge impact on the game. We had opportunities. We missed a field goal. We went for it on 4th and 1 at the 1. We didn't make it. Had another opportunity where we had to settle for a field goal, but we had to make it a 2-score game. So this game is all about competitive character, perseverance, playing in a tough place to play, making a choice that you're going to do everything you have to do as a competitor to have success. And I think our players did that. I'm really proud of them for it.
I know this is a silly question, but do you win that game without Jalen's athleticism?
I don't know. Look, there are things that we need to do better at every position. There are things that we need to do better at the quarterback position. We made some errors early in the game that were costly, and we made some plays in the end that his athleticism allowed him to make. And I think as we grow with him, we're going to have to live with both. And I like the second part better than the first. He's a great competitor. He never loses his poise, but we need to do a better job of executing.
Once again, it was a fumble, turnover, and he responded the very next drive, actually next 2 drives. What do you see from him right after that third quarter fumble and moving forward?
Well, the first thing I saw was a defense go out there and go 3 and out, and give us an opportunity to go back again and move the ball. And but I think it's all about resiliency, and I use the word perseverance several times, but guy does not get affected. We've got to get him to do a better job of executing on a consistent basis. That's up to us as coaches. That's on us, and that's what we need to try to do a better job of.
In 22 minutes of possession in the second half, how much was it an old-fashioned kind of game where it was just grinded out, field position?
Well, the guy that always has the hot hand is the guy you want to run, and Bo Scarborough certainly looked that way today, and then he twisted his knee, and he came back and did a great job in the second half as well. I think we started controlling the line of scrimmage better. I think we made, the plan at halftime, and we hit it right off the bat, was we got to throw the ball down the field and make them cover us, so we made one big explosive play. We didn't cash it in. That's when we didn't score. But then we were able to run the ball effectively, quarterback runs as well as tailback runs, and I think that was the difference in the game in the second half.
Coach, defensively, you talked about before, earlier in the year, that your guys needed to respond defensively in the big games. How was it nice to see time and time again them come through and make stops?
Well, we tell our players all the time that defense travels. That means everybody talks about how it's hard to play offense when you're playing a place like this because everybody's screaming when you're trying to get the snap. They're not doing that when you're playing defense. All right, so it's just focus on what's happening in the rectangle, win on the green, which is what we told our players that they needed to do in this game, and never give up on the play. And I use the example with them of LeBron James making the play in the playoffs, championship game from midcourt, J.R. Smith guarding the guy so he had to double pump it, and him catching up and making that block. And he said, you never give up on the play. And I asked our players, I said, how do you compare that effort with your effort, play in and play out? Because we say we're giving 100%, 6 seconds of play, but how does it compare to that? And how good could you be if you did that? And I thought our defensive players really competed today and did a great job.
How important was the blocked field goal in the first quarter?
I'm sorry?
The blocked field goal in the first quarter.
It was huge. It was huge. And we put a new block in where we could, max block, but rush the edges for all their fakes. And guys did a really good job up the middle of getting some penetration. So that was big.
How would you evaluate how Tony Brown did tonight, Coach?
Did a nice job. He didn't make any mental errors. I don't know exactly how he covered all the time. until we watched the film. But he was into the game, he competed well, and I thought Minka did a nice job too for the first game ever at safety. Probably was helpful to us that we had a bye week, that we could get a little bit more work with him. But he did a good job, but he's a very instinctive player, and that was a critical move for us that worked.
Coach, you ever had a 9-minute, 50-yard drive before?
Yeah, but couldn't come at a better time tonight.
Coach, 3 times your team has really contained Leonard Fournette. What was the key this game?
Well, I think when you play a great play like that, everybody has to really focus on doing their job. And our guys did it last year. We played a lot of the same stuff that we played a year ago. Played 3-4, everybody's got a gap, everybody's got to win the block on the line, everybody's got to create a new line of scrimmage, you got to keep great contain on the guy, and you can't have one guy tackle. And I think our guys did a really good job of that. But we got some pretty hateful guys that play defense around here that are pretty good competitors, so when they get challenged a little bit, they usually respond, and I thought they responded really well tonight.
Did you see any extra motivation from them?
I'm sorry?
Did you see any extra motivation from them, especially since some of the talk before the game?
We don't really pay much attention to all that stuff. I mean, I think we know what we have to do, and we know how we have to play against great players, and I think every one of our players will tell you how much respect they have for LSU, their team, the way they competed in the game, and Leonard Fournette as a player, who may be as good a player as there is in college football. So I think that's challenge enough for us.
The fourth down call, 4th and 1, was there a decision to make there, or was it an automatic go for it, 4th and 1, go and go on?
When we didn't make it?
Right.
We made it fast because we wanted to go fast, and we really kind of busted the play, to be honest with you. So.
Couple more?
Can you ask any more from a team than one first down in the second half, from a defense than allowing just one first down in the second half?
Not much. I mean, really good job. Really proud of the way those guys competed, and they were in some tough spots now. The field position was not in our favor early in the game, and they kept getting stops, and we turned it over there when Jalen fumbled. Had great field position. We went right in and got a stop. So there was some great competitive character in how those guys responded to some adversity in this game.
Nick, it looked like on the 21-yard touchdown by Jalen, it looked like he was trying to pass solidly up. I guess what was the play call?
It was a sprint out pass, and they were firing the star guy a lot, which makes it difficult on those plays. But he actually went underneath the contained man and made a great cut, and very good run. I don't know if anybody was open on the play or not, but we'll take it.
Could you sense them getting tired on that drive?
Yeah, we thought we had them going a little bit in the second half when we had a couple long drives. And I think that was very helpful, especially to us, to be able to run the ball.
Last one?
Nick, when you talked about growing with Jalen and his things you don't like, can he get there by the end of the season, or are you talking about more long term?
I think it's day by day. I think we make improvements day by day. I think he wants to improve. I think he wants to do the right things. I think he has great poise. I don't think the stage is too big for him at all. And I guess he expects a lot of himself, and we expect a lot of him because he's in a role that has tremendous responsibility, and he's handled that very well. But I said it before the bye week, we have some really good skill guys outside that we need to have more involved in the game to make plays down the field like our Darius Stewart did today. Calvin Ridley needs to make plays like that. I mean, we really need to do a better job of taking advantage of those opportunities for our team.
Thanks, Coach.